Hello, welcome to episode number... Is it 460? I think it's 460 of the TEW 8-Way Challenge Run. It's going to be ECW for week 3 of December 2023, the go-home show for Holiday Hell. And yeah, tonight we've got a couple of matches. Bobby Lashley against Adam Cole. We've got Roman Reigns and Warden face-to-face ahead of their title match this Saturday. And we have also Zack Sabre Jr.'s right-hand man, I guess, Rip Fowler, taking on Bloody Murphy ahead of Bloody Murphy's television title match at Holiday Hell, as well as JC Jane and two women taking on Gigi Dolan, Shotzi, and Scarlett, and a whole lot more. So without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. Our tribal chief does indeed open up the night, and he says, "Long Island, New York, acknowledge me. I take a week off and all of a sudden, I've got guys blowing up my phone telling me, hey, tribal chief, the wise man has put you in a rematch with Warden at the pay-per-view this Saturday night. Now, I ain't scared of Warden. I remember SummerSlam. I put Warden's ass down. I'll put his ass back down again. But you see, our ECW champion, our Warden around here, fancies himself a bit of a big shot lately. And he's got to come out here. He's got to acknowledge his tribal chief. And he's got to thank me for making him famous." Out does come Warden. And he goes, "I don't have to thank you for anything, Roman. All of my successes come not because of you, but in spite of you. I know you like to take credit for everyone else around you's success, but that ain't the case for me. The only thing that you're gonna do is you are gonna make me an even bigger superstar this Saturday night when I put you down and defend this ECW World Championship, not against you, but from you. Because you see, we already sat through the year of Roman Reigns, the year of bloodline dominance. And now I see you all alone. You're the one final piece, chief. And this Saturday night, that final piece gets put out of place." Everyone goes, "Charming, You see, as much as I may, like to play up, but I've seen the news, I hear the stories. You think you're some sort of big-time movie star right now, don't you?" "That's right, ECW champion Warden here. He's getting movie roles, television roles. He's moving on up in the world. You know who did those things all before you? I did. And you can thank me for putting the spotlight on you to the point where even people outside of WWE are seeing you as a star. But this Saturday, I'm gonna make sure you don't make those meetings. I'll make sure your flame gets extinguished before it can even really get going. Because we now, Warden, live in the world where I have to rescue that ECW championship, because you were never the top guy here on this show. This is my show. This show is literally made for me. Just keeping my title warm, and now with Dolph Ziggler out the way, I'm looking straight through you. And I'm looking on to 2024 and beyond with me reigning as ECW champion. And at that point, everybody watching will have no choice but to acknowledge me." And Warden goes, "You say you want to beat my ass, make it so I can't walk. I say, why wait till Saturday night?" And then he drops the mic. Heyman's in the video. So, no. Save it for the pay-per-view, my tribal chief. Save it for the pay-per-view, my tribal chief. And of course, Roman does back away. But Warden is there. He's probably ripped his shirt off or something, ready for a fight. But Roman Reigns says no. 82. Buddy Murphy suffers a concussion, so he's out of the pay-per-view, it seems. So I'll have to come up with something else. But he does somehow still defeat Rip Fowler in 12:36 of a Murphy's Law. Buddy Murphy has been fucked in terms of injuries in this save, you know. Every time I try and elevate him back up to, you know, where he was, because he's a former WWE champion. So every time I try and get him at least to, like, B-tier main event stars. He always suffers some sort of injury. He broke his leg a couple of years ago, came back from that, had the bionic leg thing, and now he's got a concussion, now he's missing his pay-per-view match. Oh well, I guess, you know, what can you do? 89 for Buddy Bloody Murphy, 69 for Rip Fowler. Thank you, MVP. Buddy Murphy sustained a minor concussion. I'm sure Chris Jericho also did, you know, when you... Anyway, moving on from that. Mackenzie Mitchell is in the press box with the grand jury. Because my guests of this time, Damian Priest, King Cobain, Emerson Frost. Because last week, Andrade and Zelina, you know, called upon an old friend to help take on the grand jury. He goes, enough, Mackenzie, you know. Yes, last week, you know, Andrade, he managed to pull out an old friend from his locker. An old friend we haven't seen in a while, Angel Garza. Okay. But what he didn't know is, you know, they're still outnumbered. There's still only 2 of them and 3 of us. So Andrade, amigo, I don't think this is all between me and June. If you want to end this the way it should be ended, I'll see you on Saturday night. Me and you one-on-one at Holiday Hell. Is that all you want, Mackenzie? Because, you know, I'm done with Andrade after Saturday night. I don't want to think about him until Saturday night. In fact, for the rest of this night, I don't want anybody here to say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
And Braun Strowman. Joeman walk in, and he's like, hey, you know, can't help but overhear you, you know, talking about Andrade and Angel Garza, and, you know, there's a lot going on there, but, you know, one people that you are too scared, you know, to face. It's not Angel Garza, it's not Andrade, you know, they'll probably beat your ass. It's us, it's Joe Hendry and Braun Strowman. Priest goes, oh, you know, I sort of forgot you guys were here, you know, Braun, you sure did make an impact. This little flash in the pan run you had lasted even longer than your first one. And Braun goes, you better watch your mouth or your friends are going to get these heads later on tonight. And then, made. Joeman will take on the grand jury, Emerson Frost and King Cobain. Tag team action later on tonight. Speaking of tag team action later on tonight, we see JCJ and she goes, well, what is this? Okay, like, no, not even a call, not even a text. Okay, like, I know we're on separate brands now, and, like, we've all gone our separate ways, and I've left all that behind, but she could have at least phoned me and gone, hey, you know, JC, I've got these 2 little sisters, you know, they really need bringing up because, you know, you're too good for me now. You've moved on. You're going to beat Gigi's ass and prove that you were the star of Toxic Attraction all along, but you want to replace me? Okay, well, whatever. That's none of my business. Anyway, I'm against Shotzi and Scarlett tonight. I know you've got your issues with those 2 from the past, so, you know, I sort of need partners. She's talking to Blair Davenport. Blair goes, my issues with Shotzi are over, you know. I put her in her place at high voltage. But luckily for you, I'm always ready for a scrap, JC Jane. So if you need a partner, you've got a partner. And Jace's like, well, actually, I need 2. That's when Chelsea Green was like, oh, I hear you need a second partner. And JC goes, actually, on second thought, no, I'm good with just Blair. She goes, no. I've got it. Because, you know, my husband, my megastar, hot, sexy husband, Matt Cardona, he's going to put Sabu in his place at Holiday Hell and prove that he is the greatest in the history of ECW. The king of Extreme, the wrestling god. And if he's the king of Extreme, then that makes me the queen. So, JC Jane, if you want a tag team partner tonight alongside Belair to take on those 3 weirdos and Scarlett and Shotzi and Gigi, you look no further than the queen of Extreme, Chelsea Green. JC goes, I guess you're better than nobody, but I'm not thrilled about it, but I guess I'll see you out there tonight. So yeah, there are JC's 2 partners, Blair Davenport and Chelsea Green. But they certainly don't look like they're all on the same page. I'll put it that way. 59 rating. Another Ruby Riot match. She gets the full entrance. And there's a local wrestler, Jacqueline Masters, in there. The same Ruby match as before. Starts out playing up to the crowd, but eventually, starts beating the fuck out of this poor local jobber. To the point where the referees probably do try and step in and break it up, but she just continues delivering those riot kicks. And eventually does pin her, 1, 2, 3. 68 for Ruby, 30 for Jacqueline Masters, which is actually good because she is a Regen who just came through one of my performance centers, who I forgot to give an NXT contract to. So she was just sat on my main roster, and I saw her here. I went, yeah, she can be the jobber tonight. She's got no pop, and she's scoring a 30, so she could be a prospect. But yes, I didn't set Dancer, but with the whole Ruby thing, it's appropriate. So yeah, Ruby does pick up another win, another unsettling victory here tonight. And then get this, it's just a hype video, because, the time for talk is over between Julia and Cora Jade. They've got their match this Saturday. Just a hype video, hyping up the match. Should be pretty good. I expected an 83 for it. We then get this. Next Gen sit down backstage. And they go, well, hi everybody. It sure has been a while since you saw us on ECW. There's a reason for that, okay, because when we came over here and did we took over like a house on fire, we dominated Heat. Heat was our show to the point where we got taken off there for being too dangerous. And now I see us walking around here it's like nobody even remembers who we are. It's like people don't forget that we dominated the first half year. We beat all your heroes back at SummerSlam. And now I see all everyone's talking about is Queendom, and how this is Queendom's WWE. They're the most dominant women's faction of all time. I hear that, they've got the tag team championships, and they're making a stop at Raw on January 1st. If you're going to be at Raw on January 1st, how about you bring your ass to ECW the following night, and we can see who really runs this show. Okay? 76. Whatever, that's fine. It's a mid-card tag team match. Joman do defeat the Grand Jury because Andrade and Angel Garza come out and screw Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain, allowing Braun Strowman to pin Emerson Frost for PowerSlam in 13:06. 68 for Braun, 67 for Joe Hendry, also a 67 for Ken Cobain, and a 73 for Emerson Frost. And yeah, Andrade getting his lick back ahead of his match with Damian Priest one-on-one at Holiday Hell. We then get a Zion Quinn and Karrion Kross backstage segment. They're just doing badass things. Whatever Karrion and Zion Quinn do, being alphas. And, just want to sort of get them back on the show because, I need more tag teams and they can be a tag team. So, I guess Karrion's slow progression from edgelord miserable teen in the body of a 35-year-old man to alpha alongside Zion Quinn it's coming along. Another backstage interview. Mackenzie's with Liv for battle because Liv is challenging Jade Cargill for the Liberty Championship at the pay-per-view. He says, Liv, we saw last night Jade made another defense of that championship, so it's official. It'll be you and her at Holiday Hell. And she goes, I feel like we're always running over the same points here. Yes, Jade is strong and she's dominant, but she's undefeated. But I've made a living out of proving people wrong, Me and Shida, we've had a rough couple of months. Ever since SummerSlam, when I got the shot to become inaugural ECW champion and I lost. Ever since then, I've been on a vow to get my career back on track, and I'm going to do just that. This Saturday, when I defeat Jade Cargill, hand her first loss here in WWE, and take that Liberty Champion that so belongs to me, but has been just out of my grasp every single time I've tried. And if she wants to bring Stokely, that's fine, because I'll have Shida in my corner. So, watch me. Tag match gets a 72, which honestly overperformed. It's actually better than any individual performance in this match, because Blair Davenport was off her game and only got a 70. But it is the babyface trio. It's Gigi Dolan, Shotzi Blackheart, and Scarlett, who defeat the heel trio when, Belair and JC, I imagine, both walk out on Chelsea Green, leaving our poor Queen of Extreme to end up taking the pin to Gigi Dolan in 12:53. 59 for Scarlett, 69 for Shotzi, 68 for Gigi, 70 for Belair, 53 for Chelsea, and a 61 for JC. And yeah, that's the last stop before House of Horrors between JC Jane and Gigi Dolan at Holiday Hell. Because don't forget, that pay-per-view is wild. House of Horrors and Matt Cardona and Sabu on the same pay-per-view, don't mind if I do. Should be a wild end to the year. But then get this. Cesaro and Dudley Davis backstage. And they're just chilling. And Dudley's like, you know what, mate? We're both not really doing much right now, are we? And Cesaro goes, no, I thought ECW would be more my speed. He goes, well, how about next week? Me and you have ourselves a match. I think that'll be fun. And Cesaro just shrugs his shoulders and goes, sure, okay, I'll wrestle you next week. Yeah, because I needed something, 2 weeks' time, actually, the first ECW of the new year, because, again, we're missing, because you haven't got the hint yet, we're not doing shows next week. So the next ECW will be January week 1. But yeah, Dudley Davis, Cesaro, 2 weeks' time. Speaking of that show in 2 weeks' time, here is the official announcement that it will happen. It will be Dudley Davis and Cesaro, both looking to find their feet here on ECW. And they'll be going 1-on-1 on ECW week 1 January. But they won't be the only new faces in the house, because the women's tag team champions, Io Sky and Dakota Kai, are both set to make their first appearance on the ECW brand. By proxy of having the belt so they can float. Actually, it won't be Cammy's first appearance, but it will be Io and Dakota's. And then moving on to the pay-per-view, we have one last-minute match addition, that being a singles match, grudge match, Andrade Cien Almas taking on Damian Priest. In one-on-one action, no Angel Garza, no Grand Jury, just Priest and Andrade 1-on-1. AET, this is kind of a weak episode of ECW in Ring Rise. This might be the first time ever there's been an episode of ECW without a blue-rated match. And I blame it all on Buddy Murphy's concussion, because that probably would have got blue if the injury didn't mess it up. Anyway, Bobby Lashley defeats Adam Cole with a spear in 19 minutes and 7. 94 for Adam Cole, 77 for Bobby Lashley. And yeah, that's a last-minute bit of momentum for the Hurt Business, because of course Lashley has to defend on behalf of the Hurt Business when he teams with Damon Kemp against the Fritz brothers at Holiday Hell due to Ronnie Hughes also being injured, funnily enough. So 2 injuries have really stirred up this pay-per-view card. But Ronnie's back within 2 or 3 weeks after the show. And I don't know Buddy Murphy, because I haven't checked the medical yet, but I imagine he's only out for 2 or 3 months. But that's not the end of the show, because we get one last segment. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, they're leaving the arena. He goes, can you believe the nerve of that man, tribal, my wise man? He goes, no, my tribal chief, you see. But he will be put in his place this Saturday night at Holiday Hell, and you, my tribal chief, smash him once again, just like you did at SummerSlam. And I can make guarantee that you're going to take that championship off him, my tribal chief. He goes, I don't need your guarantee, Hot Paul, because I am the tribal chief. This is my show. And this Saturday, that's my title. And he just gets in the limo outside. And Heyman goes, I'll be with you in a sec, my tribal chief. And he answers his phone. He goes, hello. It's Paul. Be sure to be at the arena this Saturday. Just in case. 83. Yeah, weird ECW of no blue-rated matches. The only blue-rated segment on the entire show was the opening angle. But, you know what I always say. This 83 number here doesn't matter at all, because what matters more is what you thought of the show. This was sort of a filler ECW, if I do say so myself, because most of the build was already done for the pay-per-view. But yes, I'll see you next time for SmackDown, the last SmackDown of 2023, and the fallout of Armageddon. See you then.